Hi there, this is Allison with Let's Go Travel Tips, and today we are going to talk about what I think is the future of masking on cruise ships and where we are today. I've got updates for you for the Love Boat cruise and lots more to talk about. So first of all, masking on cruise ships. I noticed that Don put out a video. He is sailing on that transatlantic on the Rotterdam, and it was big news that they were going to require masking except for when you are in your cabin, of course, unless you're eating or drinking. So that is a big development there that he announced on his channel. But I wanted to add that all along, really ever since the cruising restart, and even since it was announced that a lot of the masking requirements had gone away on cruise lines, that throughout the summer and as we have entered the fall here, there have always, I would hazard to say, always been at least one sailing that I am aware of that is requiring masks. Sometimes it is requiring masks based on maybe the COVID cases of the cruise before, as well as what happens with COVID cases on the sailing that people are on right then. For the Holland America Rotterdam, on the last cruise, they required masks, and they also had a lot of trouble with the norovirus. In fact, passengers had to stay off the ship. No one was able to get on until 1:30 because they did another deep cleaning of the ship due to norovirus. And so on the last sailing, truly the Rotterdam has been up against it with COVID and with the norovirus. And so that they require masks on this cruise is really no surprise at all, because they required it on the last one. They've required it on some other sailings this year, this summer and fall. And then with this transatlantic, I think it was inevitable that masking would be required. So then we ask the bigger question of how long are masks going to off and on be required on different cruises? My opinion, just based on everything that I have watched, and I've been doing this since the restart, I would say that it's indefinite. I think for a very long time to come, we are going to have masks being required on different voyages. Now, it can be because of COVID, it can be because of norovirus, and I think that I am wondering, and I would really like to hear from you all in the comments, if we are going to start seeing masking required. For example, if we are on a cruise and everybody is getting a cold, things like that. I don't know, but tell me what you think. I very specifically remember our cruise to Antarctica, and we went in January of 2020, and I think, of course I don't know for sure, but it surely seemed like everyone on that ship got a cold. When we got on, we were just fine, and a weekend, we had a cold too, both Gordon and I. What did we do when we had a cold? You know what? We tried not to breathe on everybody. We were as careful as could be. That was before masks came about here in the United States. Of course, masks existed, but we didn't really think of wearing them. And so but I'm just wondering, tell me what you think. But I think as far as COVID goes and the impact of that, I think that honestly, for a very long time now to come, masking is going to be required. And I remember, and I want to know where you all stand about this, I remember in his video that Don said that if he had the option of knowing that they had to have masks, found out that, if he had the option of getting his money back and not going, he would do that instead of going on the cruise and wearing a mask. So I happen to be someone that I enjoy cruising enough that I'll go wear a mask. And if I have to wear a mask to be on the cruise, I will do that. But I know that not everybody is that way, and it doesn't mean that one way is right and one way is wrong. It just means that we're different, and that's okay. It adds variety to life. So let me kind of know where you stand. Would you rather not go on a cruise if you have to wear a mask, or are you still happy to go? Put that in the comments below and let me know what you think. But honestly, I think that masking is here to stay for a really long time. I think it's going to come and go on different voyages, but I think it's going to be popping up here and there for the foreseeable future. The next thing that I want to talk to you about is just kind of a quick update to do with our Love Boat cruise. And so I want to tell those of you, because I know that not all of our Let's Go family members are going, or anyone who is new here. If you're new here, October 22nd, this coming Saturday, is when the Love Boat cruise sets sail. It is simply the Discovery Princess sailing October 22nd. It's a week cruise round trip out of Los Angeles to Mexico. We're going to Cabo, Mazatlan, and Puerto Vallarta. And but they're supposed to be Love Boat themed events on the cruise. And I have looked at the Medallion Class app right before, the Princess app as they call it now, I should say, right before I did this video, and I cannot find, and I hate the way they do that journey view scheduling thing because you have to go sideways and up and down. Anyway, I could not find Love Boat activities listed yet, and the times and the places for them. I couldn't find anything about the white gold evening for the last formal night. I couldn't find anything about the party that they say is going to happen in the piazza. For those of you that like trivia, though, I did notice just randomly, day 5, they're going to have Star Wars trivia. I wish our youngest son was coming. I think he would mop everyone up at that because he is so good at that. He has liked Star Wars since he was just little. But anyway, I just wanted to let you know, for those of you that enjoy Star Wars, this might be your event. But anyway, so none of that is showing up yet. And so a couple of things. First of all, when we're getting on the ship, we're going to try a new thing and try to put up more videos more often rather than saving and having longer vlogs. I'm going to see how it goes, but keep your eye out for me putting up videos. I'm going to try to do it, Gordon and I, so that we've got, like when we get on the ship, and show everything with embarkation and everything interesting to a point that we'll load that. We are going to do a live. Sail Away is at 4 p.m. Eastern time. 4 p.m. Pacific time there, which will make it 7 p.m. Eastern on Saturday. So stick around and make sure you're available for that if you would like. But we're going to try to do that more often. And the other thing is, just a reminder to everybody that will be there, we're having our meet and greet on the first sea day, the first full day on the ship, the day after embarkation at noon in the Wakeview Bar. That's deck 16 aft. And so come along, say hi to everyone. I think it'll be really fun for our Let's Go family members to get to see each other. I'll be tickled pink to get to meet you all in person. Gordon and I are really looking forward to that. And so anyway, just wanted to make sure. Also, our Let's Go family member Steven had the amazing idea we should do a group photo. Tom mentioned we could maybe do it on Saturday, get a photographer to come and do it, but I'm worried that there's not going to be enough people on by then. I know that some people's plane they don't even land until early afternoon. And so let's do it then a different day. Alrighty. And maybe we can get some group photos at the meet and greet. But it would be really fun to do it on the white gold formal night, that last formal night. And so as soon as we can see that on the schedule, we'll maybe work out a time. But do you guys think that like meeting at 5 and then again at 9 or 10 would be good? Say in the comments and come to our live tonight so we can talk about things. Now, also in conjunction with that, last year when we went, I did just like a packing video showing some things that I was going to take. I'm taking remarkably the same things with me again this year. So I'll have Gordon have that video underneath this one and follow this one so that you can watch it if you need any thoughts about what maybe you ought to be taking or think about taking. Now, this next thing is a little bit more serious. A Let's Go family member sent me an email and said that they had seen on another channel, Eric Clark's Travel, that people had been locked in their cabin for quarantine. I have never heard on Princess. I have never heard of anyone being locked in their cabin. I know that when you're in quarantine, you're supposed to stay in your cabin. But can you guys comment and say, do they lock you in your cabin? I had not heard that at all. I went back and tried to find a video on his channel about it. I couldn't find it. Doesn't mean it's not there. It just means I can't find it. And so because I wanted all of the information, but can anybody say if you've been locked in your cabin for quarantine? I didn't think that they locked you in your cabin. And truthfully, part of like what you would think the fire code and everything else to do with that would make it so that they wouldn't lock you in, because you never know when an emergency is going to happen, as well as that's crazy. And so if anybody has been in quarantine and can comment, would you please comment or send me an email? The other thing that I think is really important to know, and I guess I should have said this by the Love Boat cruise information, but if you are sailing truly on any of the, like on the Discovery Princess, any of the ships that are heading down to Mexico, our Let's Go family member Tom let us know that over on Cruise Critic, they were talking about the fact that someone was just in Cabo and they said that the tendering was miserable. Cabo is always a tender port for Princess ships. For the big ships, you're only going to get in there if you're a little ship. to dock. And so they were saying, though, they said that tendering off the ship was horrible for those getting off that were either elite or on excursions. People were lined up in the halls. It took about 2.5 or 3 hours off before they got everybody off and before there wasn't a line anymore. It says tendering on the larger ship capacity cruises is not for those who are impatient. So if you plan a private excursion, make sure that you put in extra time to have a line to get off the ship for tendering. Now, also, this is my first cruise being elite with Princess. I am so excited. So tell me, how do you get elite tendering? Tell me how that works, would you? Otherwise, I'll ask when I'm on board. But you guys always know better than anyone else, so I thought I would ask you. Because in Cabo, we've got that excursion that we booked separate, and it goes at 12:45. So I would really like to know how to do the elite tendering thing. But like I said, be so careful as you schedule your tours. Then also, he was kind enough to give us an update and post that the final 2 cruises of 2022 up in Alaska are underway right now. I thought that was really fun to know. There are about a dozen different ships currently visiting the Hawaiian Islands or Polynesian ports. And so that's kind of, I like it how it gives us a perspective of how many cruises are happening where. The Crown Princess just left Portland from being in a dry dock. So those of you who are worried about being on the Crown Princess after you have heard about all of the engine problem that she had in Alaska this year, it should be solved by now. That's what we have heard, that she was going in to get all of the maintenance and repairs done. And so I wouldn't be worried if I had a sailing going on the Crown Princess, and I am really excited to hear from those of you who will be sailing on her soon. So surely let us know how it's happening. And then just another tidbit, the Carnival Miracle is going to leave Long Beach today to head up to Portland to enter dry dock there. So I know that the ships have been behind in getting dry docked due to the pandemic, and they are just rotating best they can to get the maintenance done that they need and any repairs. So but you would like to know. Also, I know that we've got several Let's Go family members who are on board the Caribbean Princess right now. My sister happens to be one of them, and she sent us an update and let us know that on Friday they were in white-capped waters and were not able to call in St. John, New Brunswick due to weather, and they were supposed to call in Halifax on Saturday. I have not heard yet if they were able to make that port of call, but just wanted to let you know. And she said that they had beautiful days in Boston, Newport, and Bar Harbor, Maine. So I thought, there you go. There's an update from the Caribbean Princess, and we've got some other updates that I'll share with you as well. Right now, you're going to hear a lot from me again tomorrow. We have so much to talk about. Now, also, we have a Let's Go family member who let us know, and this is really valuable, I think, if you are flying into Miami or Fort Lauderdale and you're trying to cruise out of the other one or whatever. She said that there is the Bright Line rail service that goes between Fort Lauderdale, and Miami. It's $10 to $27 per person, depending on which fare you choose. It's a high-speed, 35-minute ride, leaves Fort Lauderdale every hour from 7 a.m. until midnight, and even has a shuttle that goes to the airport. So I think that's really valuable. Gordon and I are trying to set up what all we're going to do. We were on the Celebrity Beyond, as you know, as I told you, for the naming ceremony and inaugural cruise, November 4th through the 6th, and then on the 13th is when my other cruise is, so we're going to try to maybe fill up that time. We thought we were going to come home, but I think we're going to fill it up with something else, so I will let you know. But truly, we are flying into Miami on that trip and out of Fort Lauderdale because it was so much cheaper to do it that way. I know it's not usually cheaper to do things like that, but if you are flying down there and your plane tickets are looking super expensive, try flipping a little bit between Fort Lauderdale and Miami. And like I said, flying into Miami and out of Fort Lauderdale to come home was cheaper than round trip out of one of the airports. So I thought I would tell you that. Also, I wanted to let you know that we will be adding to our website the menus from the Bayou Cafe. We've got a Let's Go family member who is on the Island Princess right now, and that and Sabatini's are their two specialty dining restaurants there, and he was kind enough to send me photos of the menu, so it gives us an idea. It's truly what you would expect it to be, being called the Bayou Cafe. There's There's crawfish, there's lobster, there's gumbo, and lots of other yummy things it looks like to eat. And so I really appreciate that. I had never seen the menu from that restaurant before, and so we will be getting that right up on our website so that if you want to take a look and be prepared to know if you want to eat there or not, it will be available for you. Now, I have not ever done this before, and I hope that I don't regret it, but a couple of you have torn my heart out with the things that you're worried about, and I can't promise anything. I can email the person that spoke with me after I did my video about Princess Are You Listening and see if we can get any help. We have a Let's Go family member who in the comments said that they were due to go on a cruise, but before they were supposed to go 4 days, their daughter passed away, and they have called customer service numerous times. They were told to email customer relations. They've done that 3 months ago several times and still not heard anything. We also have a Let's Go family member that had massive trouble on the Sapphire Princess, said they would get future cruise credits for it. They're not showing up on their account. They call Princess. There's no documentation they were getting that. Another Let's Go family member on that cruise also said you should be getting a check in the mail for what they said they would give you. So has anybody, number one, gotten a check in the mail yet? Heard anything else on that? And you dear people, send me an email and I'll try. And I am hoping that maybe in the long run, if I help you out, maybe you'll let me be your travel agent. If not, that's okay. But I just felt so bad, especially the lady that lost her daughter and can't talk to anybody. So send me an email. I can't help with the comments. I don't know who you are, but send me an email, letsgotraveltips@gmail.com, and I'll try to help you. Same for anybody else that's in a tight situation. I don't know if it'll work. Let's try one or two and we'll go from there. Finally, the Norwegian Joy is going to go on a Panama Canal cruise, and they're leaving from Los Angeles, going to Miami, and they're leaving February 24th of 2023. Not too long ago, both the United States government and the government there in Canada issued travel warnings for going to Nicaragua and going to Costa Rica. And so I don't know if these two events with those announcements are tied to it, but Norwegian has made an announcement that they are removing from that cruise the ports that calls in the port of Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, San Juan del Sur in Nicaragua, and Punta Arenas, Costa Rica. And they did not say why, but I'm kind of wondering if it's because of those travel warnings to those locations. There's not a travel warning to Puerto Vallarta. I think that was just another thing. They have changed, though, in response to taking those ports off. They had a call in Puerto Quetzal, if I said that right, Guatemala, and that call has been extended 3 hours, so now they're going to be there from 7 in the morning till 7 in the evening, which is really nice, gives you lots of time to see anything that you would like. And then they are also adding going to Acapulco, and then they're going to go to Panama City, Panama, and have an overnight. So they're adding Acapulco, Panama City, Panama with an overnight there. And then also their other stops on that cruise have not been changed. But I wanted to let you know, just in case you didn't get that email. And also, I think it's a really good thing to highlight for all of us that sometimes our ports get changed and we really can't help it. And so just be ready to go. So that's the news that I've got for you today. Make sure that you join us this evening for our live. It's always on Monday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. And so we will look forward to seeing you there. Tomorrow I'm going to talk to you about why I think it's important to sometimes, some people don't like to book shore excursions through a cruise line, but I'm going to tell you why I think that you should in certain instances. And actually, there's a lot of instances for that. But let me that's what we're going to talk about a lot tomorrow, as well as lots of other news that we've got to get caught up on and lots of things that I think will crop up overnight. And so if you haven't subscribed yet, please do subscribe. We need you with you. I'm really trying to get to 13,000 subscribers by the end of October. And so if you would support us in that, I would really appreciate it. It's free. It doesn't obligate you to anything. I really appreciate you watching our videos. If you find them entertaining or helpful, you get information that's useful, would you please give this video a thumbs up? I'll be talking to you all again really soon. You all take really good care. God bless you. Love you. Bye-bye.